Once, a long, long time ago, there was a room that knew the sound of midnight like the palm of its own hand. It was the kind of room that, when you lay down inside it, began to teach you how to listen. It folded you in soft sheets, and in the hush between two breaths, it let you hear the small, secret music of your own slow heart. This story is a remembrance of that hush, and of a summer of memory and light that lived there, slow, steady moments to guide the mind at night toward sleep. Tonight, lie back and let your eyelids drift heavy over your eyes. Feel the bed beneath you. Notice the even weight of your shoulders, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Imagine the lamp in the far corner of your room, the soft halo it makes on the wall, the small shadow that moves when a calm breeze touches the curtains. The air tastes faint and clean, like the memory of a walk home beneath cool trees. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out. You are safe and you are warm. You are going on a quiet walk through memory. There was a small town called Combray in the life that the room held. Not a town like one finds in atlases, named by coordinates and tidy lines on a map, but a town that gathered its own hours, like a pocket full of shells. Some nights it shone in golden panels, a little parlor, a garden path at 7 o'clock, a lamp in a window. And sometimes it breathed in the blue hush of a shore, or the hush of a chapel. Combray was a place that lived by its sounds. The creak of the wainscot on cold nights, the whisper of the carriage over the stones, the distant note of trains, like birds migrating through the dark. The room remembers being a child, the way a child remembers the exact spot on the bed where a parent would kiss their forehead. The mind remembers, and the world returns to the memory, the way a light returns the color of a shell. The boy who slept in that room remembered his mother's quiet hand, and how its last line, that small, ordinary warmth, was enough to make the whole world fit together. Those lights and sounds are the soft scaffolding of what we call being at home. When those scaffolds were gone, he learned to build miniature homes inside his head. A scent of Vichy water here, a plate of candied chestnuts there. The boy did not call them mere things. They were signposts and small doors. He learned to open them at night. On evenings, when sleep felt far away, the room became a harbor for memories. There were afternoons beneath a great chestnut tree in a garden whose iron table had lost its paint, but kept a life of conversation in its bruised surface. There were long walks through fields that smelled of salt and iron, the sea far beyond the grass. There were small, delicious things, madeleines dipped in tea, that came back like warm, precise sparks, and opened a string of rooms in the mind, one space clicking into the next, until the whole of the past appeared like a town constructed of light. In one gentle breath, memory can make the heart know the taste of that madeleine, as though no time had passed at all. Now, gently, imagine a tiny wooden table by your bed. On it sits a blue and white cup, filled halfway with warm tea. steam lifts in slow ribbons. Leaning over, you lift the cup. The warmth is welcome on your cheek. You taste the tea and a crumb of cake, only a crumb, and it breathes through you a memory that is not merely about the tea, but about everything that led to that small, perfect moment. The sound of the maid's fingers on the teapot, the little scrape of a chair, the exact softness of sun through a window. Breathe. Let the taste carry you like a small boat over the surface of memory. It is not haste we want. It is a slow, steady crossing. In the town of Combray, he had a place in his heart reserved for a kindly house, for an evening room where lamp light pooled like honey. He remembered his Aunt Leonie's bed and the way the sunlight fell on the quilt, the small strictness of a house that loved routine, the way a beloved hand would enter the room and lay a daily comfort in place. The memory of that hand opened and softened scenes like doors. A garden on the windy side of the house where the grandmother walked, her skirts brushing the wet earth. A little parlor where the family gathered beneath a sagging lamp that smelled of oil and the warm steam of a dish on the table. Think of that lamp now, how it would throw a soft oval at the center of the table, the way it made every face it touched seem a little kinder. At Combray there was also a church and a steeple steady, silent, like an elder. The church stood as a mark in the morning like a reliable friend. Whenever the train approached the town, its steeple would appear first, a small point of comfort on the horizon. Imagine a bell ringing, then ringing again sharply, each note descending into the evening as one drops stones into deep water, the ripples running slowly outward, touching the far corners of life. In the hush after those chimes, you may feel the world settle. There were afternoons when the sunlight fell through stained glass and painted the floor in jewels. A slow choir of blues and greens and reds that made the dust at the foot of the pews glow like sand in an aquarium. He would sit there and watch, for the light seemed to be working as an artist works, precise, patient, endlessly placing one color beside another, until the floor was an image of a sea. Think of that jewel light, a gentle, a painless luxury, and let it color the inside of your eyelids with a safe radiance. The room knew how evenings lay out their patterns. A kiss at bedtime, a door clicked softly, footsteps receding down the stair. It remembered first nights in a strange bed where the mind is alert, making invisible maps of the walls. It remembered duplicities, little theatrical tricks of remembering in sleep childhood fears. It remembered sleeping and dreaming a woman into being, as though a hand had shaped clay and she had come alive. And even in the midst of those dreams, the bed would hold you steady. The pillow would keep your cheek warm. Let that thought of a pillow be your anchor now. Allow your cheek to rest into the down, soft and proud as an old memory that says yes. There was a kitchen in these recollections, with a stove that kept its warmth for the whole night. There was a gardener who walked the paths with certain calculated slowness, and a maid with a cap of stiff white who moved with solemn kindness through the breakfast room. There were little domestic wars of jam, the best kind of bread, the proper way to set the table that smelled not of conflict, but of care. Remember a morning when a kettle sings and the smell of fresh bread rises, an ordinary miracle of the day. Allow that smell to settle in your throat. It is a cozy thing. Sometimes, when the nights lay thin and the mind made long voyages between the present and the past, he would feel that life was sealed in objects. A chest of drawers with its smooth lemonwood face, a clock that had begun to sound kinder as it aged, a set of plates sheathed in stories. Imagine those small things, the feel of cool wood under your palm, the soft click of a drawer closing. The world of loved objects gives the mind its quiet. It is easy for the mind to come home to the same face, again and again. Tonight you can too. Now imagine a garden path in the slant of evening. A chestnut tree arches, generous and old. Under it there is an iron table. The light goes down and the shadows grow long and tender, folding like soft shawls over the grass. You take a deep breath and the air tastes like stone and leaves and summer. The bench is cool. You sit for a while and let your muscles release. If some sound moves in the distance, a cart or a bird, let it be a part of the night tapestry. You do not need to follow it. The bench is here for you. The young boy remembered too an instrument of memory, those little painted slides of a magic lantern, with their faint Merovingian stalks, Golo and Genevieve figures riding across the curtains. Such an image was bright and strange, an old story given new life by the glow. Let yourself see this color slide now, slow and gorgeous, rusty oranges, oiled greens, faded blues. Let the image float across your interior world like a slow memory of an old fair. Your breathing is even and kind. Each slow breath rocks that small painting gently on the inside of your eyelids. There was also a river, cool, heavy, and measured where the water lilies floated like expectant faces. He liked, in his quieter hours, to sit by a bank and imagine a rowboat carrying two people slowly between one bank and the other, the low oars plashing like a steady metronome. The scene was so simple, it felt sacred. Imagine water moving quietly in the dark, and imagine the soft, hollowing sound of oars. Let this measured motion match the motion of your breath, soft in, slow out, match it for a few breaths. There is a special tenderness that arrives when a parent's hand lingers to say goodnight. Picture now that gentle hand, the brief, bright, warm weight of it on your forehead, and the small, private ritual you share. When you feel those palms, you feel known. Close your eyes and feel known now, not by any actual person, but by the slow safety of the night, by the steady beating of your chest, and by these words that gather round you like close friends in a room. Now imagine the hush of the wainscot gradually taking the day into the woodwork, the cracks between the boards becoming darker, like the turning pages of a book. Outside, you may hear trains in the distance, not as an annoyance, but as a long, slow metronome of movement that says, there are other nights elsewhere, but this is your night. And in that night, as your muscles soften, the edges of thought smooth out. Let your eyelids settle like curtains over a quiet stage. The play is done for tonight. You have been and you are and you will be. All is well. Remember the smell of lime flowers, a cup of tea steeped and left for you. When it cools, the flavor is gentler. Think of a madeleine, just a crumb soaked in that tea, until the warm liquid brings up a memory like a small, bright shell from the deep. It is this small, invisible thing that can open the whole garden of childhood, the lanes and the stone walls, the walk to church, the first time a mother leaned in to kiss you, and the comfort of that living, breathing circle. Your breathing is steady now, comfortable and slow. The lamp is a soft globe of warmth at the corner of the room. If your mind wants to wander, allow it to wander gently along that garden path again. Chestnut leaves, iron table, the hush of late afternoon, the faint music somewhere very far away, and then come back, like the tide, to the present bed and pillow. Press your fingertips lightly against the back of your hand and feel the absolute peace there. Your body knows how to rest. Your mind knows how to drift. No words are required for what is most simple. We have walked slowly, gently through one small, careful life, one boy's long, final relation with a home, and with the small events that give shape to the heart. We have breathed the rooms and the air. We have tasted the tea and the crumbs that open the maps of memory. Each of these small things, each lamp and doorway, each lemonwood drawer and chestnut tree becomes your companion tonight. When distant trains call, they are the songs of other sleepers, and not a summons that needs reply. The bed is a harbor, and your breath the patient rower that carries you into sleep. Now let the dream come. If a single thought treads restlessly through your mind, smile with it as you might smile at a child who pinches your finger. Be kind to that small thought, then let it go. Gently say goodnight to the little details of the day, the teacup, the lamp, the photograph of a summer you have yet to visit, and rest. Imagine, as you drift, the faintest of lights like early dawn. Sleep comes like a tide, one soft wave, and then another. And then you turn and are borne into that sweet, private sea of stillness. Breathe slowly now, in and out. Allow your shoulders to fall. Allow your jaw to part a fraction. Let your hands rest where they lie. There is nothing you need to do. Your room protects you. The night is an even, kind presence, a sheet of ink under which the world's little noises are softened and made a song. You will return in the morning calm, bright and clear. On this quiet shore, sleep will keep you safe. Good night.